Newcastle United have just picked up a huge 3 points in the race of Champions League football away to West Ham. And the beauty about this win, there was no further injuries, no further suspensions, and we moved 6 back into the Premier League table. Joint points with Manchester City and only 4 points off third, which is Nottingham Forest. Let's not beat around the bush. This wasn't a pretty game of football. Newcastle weren't brilliant on the day, but neither were West Ham. This was a smash and grab. Go to London, get your 3 points, get out of there, and happy days. And that's exactly what it was. We were the better side, I thought, overall. In reflection, Newcastle probably deserved the win. We had the better chances, we created more chances without being at our sizzling best. And I want to speak about the importance of this game because despite our misfortunes this season with suspensions, injuries, players being out of form, we're actually in a healthy position. We're 6th in the Premier League, joint points with Manchester City, who are 5th, 4 points off third. So there's a lot to play for Newcastle United. And I want to give the players and the staff some credit because despite not signing any senior players in the last 3 transfer windows, we're still competing for Champions League football, which is absolutely huge. So I want to discuss my general thoughts about the game before speaking about a few individual players and also looking ahead to Liverpool. This was a huge 3 points, not only for the race of Champions League football, but to build momentum going into Sunday. Wasn't the prettiest games, but we got the job done. And that gives us confidence going into the biggest game of the season, which is Liverpool in that cup final. Every game in the Premier League, never mind away from home, is tough. And we've seen that when we played West Ham at home and they turned over 2-0. This was revenge. And for me, we deserved the win in reflection. But we kind of take wins like this for granted. When you're not at your best and take 3 points, that's exactly what big teams do. But the start of the game, I thought Newcastle started really slowly. I thought West Ham started the brighter out of the two and they created the first chance, but Newcastle grew into the game and grew their confidence. It was great to see the midfield 3 back together. Joelinton, Bruno and Tonali all starting. That balance of the midfield is crucial going into the game on Sunday. And I thought all 3 were brilliant today, but the worrying signs were there because West Ham definitely had their chances. They look quite dangerous on the break, and maybe against a team that's more confident, in better form, will probably get punished. But we had 2 or 3 good chances ourselves. If it wasn't for Areola pulling off some great saves, we could have scored 2 or 3 today. But I can't lie, I was worried about going into this game because it was away from home. It was our first test without Anthony Gordon or Lewis Hall. We know how crucial Lewis Hall's been to us this season. So this game was always going to be difficult with Sven Botman missing as well, and Newcastle weren't at their best. If we want to get a result against Liverpool on the Sunday, we cannot perform like that. We need up our game, but good teams win ugly in the Premier League, and games like this are the games you look back on at the end of the season and think that was crucial in us finishing in Champions League football. We see it all the time with the big teams. When they're not quite at it, they still find a way. Liverpool have been brilliant at that this season. When they're not quite at it and the rhythm isn't there and they kind of find their tempo, they still find a way to win. And that's exactly what Newcastle United done. So it's good to see that we can be compact, we can be resilient and still pick up 3 points. So the most important thing was not losing that game. All the best teams do this, and you need games like this to be successful. Although we give up some chances, Bruno delivered in a crucial moment to pick up 3 points. This kind of game was easy for us to just let it pass us by. With one eye on the cup final on the weekend, our players could have just went through the motions, been passive, but I actually saw some intensity, some hunger, some grit from the team, despite lacking in quality. I thought our best players on the day were Harvey Barnes, even though he wasn't exceptional. Bruno, Joelinton, Tonali are crucial to us in that midfield. Trippier was very good at the back today, just organisation, leadership, and that's what you need in games like this. The importance of this win is absolutely huge because it builds confidence, it'll lift the spirit, lift the mood going into Sunday, because we have had a couple of mixed results. We beat Nottingham Forest, but Nottingham Forest clawed the way back in. We got hammered at Manchester City, we got beat by Brighton, we got beat by Liverpool. So these players were not in good form. They weren't in a good place because when you lose, you're generally not in a good place. So this is huge going into Sunday, but huge in the fight of Champions League football. But it also gives our players a bit of belief. It gathers momentum and shows that they can be resilient and they can win games without key players. Anthony Gordon, Lewis Hall. Against West Ham, it was a really even game. But can we do this against Liverpool? Against Liverpool, we'll need up a game. We need up with intensity, with quality in possession, be more direct and create better chances. But we also need to defend well and be organised. And I think we did that today. So I want to speak about the importance of our midfield balance. Midfield 3 is key. and will be key in the cup final. Work hard out of possession, they cover a lot of ground, they brought intensity last night. And what I like about them, they all bring out each other's qualities. So let's start with Bruno Guimaraes, because he's adding more of an end product to his game. He got the winning goal, he broke through West Ham's lines, and he was getting in the box, and that's what you need to do to score goals. He's becoming more dangerous in the final third, and I think he's doing that because he's got Tonali protecting him behind him. So this is what I mean about bringing out each other's qualities. With Tonali just screening, protecting that back line, it's allowing Bruno to be more advanced. And Bruno is world class in my opinion. He is majestic on the ball, and he's got grit off the ball. He's turning into a complete midfielder. He can play as a CDM, he can play as a deep line playmaker, he can play as a box-to-box midfielder, he can play as an attacking midfielder. He's extremely versatile, but having the ability to play all those roles is a testament to his ability. Not only does he have quality in possession, but he's a dual winner out of possession. He's just a fantastic footballer, and you can see why Manchester City would want a player like Bruno. But that leads us nicely on to Joe Linton. What I mean by the bring out is each other's qualities. Joe Linton might not be involved in the game as much as possession-based as a Bruno, as a Tonali. But what he brings off the ball allows them to get more involved on the ball. He's a colossal in that midfield. Relentless work. He actually covered a large amount of ground today. Didn't have the quality in possession, in my opinion, but out of possession, he had an important role to play today. He was winning duels, and he was physically dominant. And like I've just wrote there, he might not have had the biggest impact in possession, but he definitely had it out of possession. I think a player like him will be crucial against Liverpool, somebody that can have a bit of physicality in that midfield, because Liverpool have got excellent technical players. So what you want to do in that cup final is outfight them, be physical against them. Don't allow them to play their natural game, and I think a body and a player like Joe Linton does exactly that. But let's talk about Sandro Tonali, because I thought he was excellent in that midfield once again. Instantly makes us a better side. He has ability to protect the back four, and which allows Bruno to play higher. His energy, he covers a lot of ground. He's a dual winner, but he's technically efficient. He's got a combination of defensive brilliance, but also technical excellence. He won 6 out of 8 ground duels. He had 3 out of 3 successful dribbles, which just shows that he can have an impact both on and off the ball. He brings so much on the ball. I actually think he's underrated on the ball. He's got the ability to receive in tight spaces. He's got the ability to find a pass. He brings so much on the ball that he doesn't get the credit for. He brings just as much in possession that he does out of possession. He's just a wonderful athlete, wonderful technical footballer. I'm just glad none of these three got injured, because I think these three are going to be absolutely crucial if we're to get a result against Liverpool. But I want to speak about the importance of Harvey Barnes, because there's a lot of pressure on him at the minute to produce in the absence of Anthony Gordon. And I thought he did okay tonight. He was moving into support Isak. He was trying to make things happen. Even if things didn't come off, he was always showing for the ball. He was trying to be decisive in the final third, and that's what you want. I would rather a player get on the ball and lose the ball every single time than just hide away. So I actually thought he showed some energy, he showed some urgency, and that's what you want, because at the minute he's trying to build up his confidence. Now it's going to be interesting what Eddie Howe does, because he's got couple of options. He can start Harvey Barnes on the left, he can start Joe Willock on the left, or he can move Joe Linton out to the left, play with a back five like he did against Arsenal. So Eddie Howe certainly has a decision to make, but he strikes me as a manager that likes continuity, somebody that likes to have a set team and build on that. So I wouldn't be surprised to see the exact same team against Liverpool, but I also wouldn't be surprised if he'd done something similar to what he did against Arsenal. Kieran Trippier really impressed me against West Ham as well. I think he showed his experience. He was organised in the back four, he showed leadership, and it was a very professional performance and attitude from him. And I think now that we know Lewis Hall's injured, I think Kieran Trippier's got a big role to play on the weekend, because somebody with his experience, somebody with his organisation skills can be absolutely crucial in a game against Liverpool, where you might be against the ropes for large proportions of the game. So he can marshal the rest and make sure everybody's prepared, everybody's organised, everybody stays concentrated and knows exactly what role they have to do. It wasn't pretty. Newcastle weren't at their fluid best, but it's a win, and that is vital. A win is a win in the Premier League. Sometimes it doesn't matter how you get it, you just need to get it, and that's exactly what Newcastle United done yesterday. Isak wasn't at his best, but we still delivered and managed to get that goal. And I've spoke about the importance of other players stepping up, and that's exactly what Bruno did yesterday. There was a lot of pressure on Newcastle United going into this game. One, because of our recent form. Two, because of injuries and suspensions, so players that hadn't played much football needed to step up. And three, because we had to build momentum going into Sunday. And that's what I like about this Newcastle team. When the chips are down, they can still produce and step up. Hopefully they do it on Sunday. We will need a better performance on Sunday, but I will be doing a match preview close at the game. So if you haven't already, make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and comment your thoughts in the below. What do you think Eddie Howe's going to do on Sunday now? Will he build on this or will he change this? Let us know in the comments below. But if you've got any thoughts about last night's game, don't forget to drop the comment in the below. Until next time, away the lads.